Hey guys, it's your girl Who, me, and I am coming to you guys with another video. In today's video, I will be giving you guys a story time about my toxic relationship. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'm going to give a sprinkle. If you like this video, push that thumbs up. Also subscribe. Yes, on the way to 1K, baby. My channel and myself would definitely appreciate it. So I've noticed in YouTube channels or videos, people name people that, you know, the situation was involved with. So I went live today, right? And I was kind of speaking on the situation. So we're going to call my ex Donut. So me and Donut met on the Blue app. I call Facebook the Blue app. So me and Donut met on the Blue app, and it's like we immediately clicked. So we started hanging out, texting, things like that. So then after we started talking, we was together. I mean, we was like together all the time. Like we was always together. He was always doing stuff for me, buying me stuff, yada yada. So one day we was chilling, and I just had this really strong urge to tell him I loved him or whatever. We ended up let me go back. We ended up started dating. And then I ended up having this like really, really strong urge to tell him I love him. So then I do it, and he was like, well, what if I love you too? I was like, oh, babe. So after that, it was like, it was love, you know, like I thought I loved him. And like I said, he was like always spending time with me, buying me things, getting me food, because I'm a fat bitch and I like to eat. So we was always eating, doing something. So then everything was going well, and we were together for about 10 months. My family met, my whole family met him. So everybody knew who he was. And then my friends started to meet him as well. And then he also supported my businesses too, which was great. And he was one of those people where he liked to send you paragraphs, and it kind of got on my nerves. And he kind of turned me into another person. I didn't like that shit. So, the thing that grown-ups do, we stopped doing it, okay? And the reason why, because he started to get toxic. Like, it was just so much things that he was tweaking about. Like, one time he got upset because I went to a comedy cookout with my homegirls, and I wasn't home in a certain time. And this is just a backstory on Donut. Like, he came from a different background as me. So he needed that closeness from a person, which was me. It was like, the best way I could describe it, I was like his weed. And it's like he always wanted to roll up and smoke. I always wanted to smoke. And it got to be too much. So then we always was arguing. I always went to work stressed out. People was asking me what was wrong with me. And I was like, Donut, doing his big one again. So we would break up. I would get back together with him. Break up, get back together. And it started to become this cycle. So then I was talking to people about him, and they were like, girl, he's toxic. I said, what is that? And I started to see it. And it got so bad to the point where I was in the floor crying with my fist like this in the ground, just crying. It was just a mess. He had got drunk one time and just was talking shit, telling me I was toxic, this and this and that. I don't know, it was like a seesaw. Like, one minute we was good, and next minute we won't. We was good when we was good, and then we won't. And he always wanted to be around me. I said, sir, you need to, like, find something to do and get some friends, like. And then he started to say things like, oh, you don't understand me, blah, 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 blah. And then when he would get in his feelings, it was like he was in his feelings times 5. And it's like he wanted me to feel bad for him. And it's like, now you know damn well. You a grown-ass man, sir. Like, what you doing? And then on my 30th birthday, I almost hit him. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I almost hit him. We were arguing like 2 or 3 days before my birthday. And I told him, I said, look, Donut, I don't need this shit with you on my birthday. Because I done been through a lot. I just want to enjoy my birthday. He ain't listen. The day of my birthday, I almost hit his ass. And I went in my mom's room. I said, Mom, I'm going to come in here before I put my hands on this person. I promise you. So I was in my mom's room for a couple minutes. Then I came back in here in my room. And then he doing all of this, talking, and then he leave. And then he tried to make it up to me by getting me a hotel room for the night to have a kickback. And I did have my kickback. And my friends came and, you know, he was trying to... The thing about Donut, he always made it seem like he was this perfect person. But people didn't see what I saw. And I'm not going to lie and say I was perfect, because I definitely won't. Excuse me. I said things I shouldn't have said. But it's like when you involved in a toxic person, they will provoke you to say certain shit. So, will I say I regret it? No. But I'm just thankful I'm not with a person like that no more. That's provoking me to say things out my mouth I shouldn't say. Or wanting to put my hands on Donut. And it's like Donut... Y'all, this shit crazy. He put me in a place mentally. It's like he triggered an anger I didn't even know I had. And I was like, what the hell? So I really had to get away from him. Like, I really did. And then I kept trying to leave him. I would go back. Kept trying to leave him. I would go back. It's like every time I would break up with him, I would go back with him. And then, what happened? I forgot that fast, y'all. But, he shows up to we get a knock on my door. I'm like, who the fuck is that? It's Donut. So he comes in the house with a bag. So I'm like, the fuck? So I sit down. He's like, oh, just being his normal self, talking all the damn time. And that's another thing. He talked a lot. I mean, I could talk, but he had me beat, y'all. So he's talking and he gives me a bag, a Chick-fil-A bag, and they had a sandwich in it. Mind you, I don't really like spicy food no more. This motherfucker gonna say, oh, here go some food. I know it's your favorite. How is it my favorite if I don't really like spicy food no more? But I ate it because I'm a fat bitch and I like to eat, so I ate it. Then he gave me this ring. And it had a letter, and it kept talking about how much he loved me and blah, 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 blah. At this point, I'm over it. I got tired of it, y'all. We went back and forth 6 times. That is too many times. Nigga, I'm done. I've been crying too much. My anger is being activated. I can't do this shit with you no more. So I decided to love him enough to let him go. And of course, he was upset. I was upset, but it had to be done. And then after that... Oh, I'm going too fast. I didn't know what to do with the ring he gave me. So y'all know what I did? I tried to pawn that bitch. But the silver market versus the gold market is different. It's lower. So I decided to be a civilian woman of God. And, you know, donated to the thrift store. And they gave me like a donation slip that I did file for taxes that same year. Period. So then, I don't know if this was before or after the ring, but it was a point in time when we tried to be friends. That was a shit show, too. Because, like, I would deal with people, and I don't know why I would tell him that I was dealing with people. But he would do childish shit like, oh, tell them I said hey. And just always worrying about what I'm doing or where I'm at. Like, sir, you're not my man no more. Cut it out. Fucking weirdo. So then he calls himself trying to get me back. But here's where the mind games came to play and the manipulation. He made it seem like he wanted to be friends. He was buying me, he bought me clothes, he took me shopping one day. He bought me food. He had made sure I made it to my Amazon interview. Well, the pre-orientation. And I'm thinking he doing it trying to be a good friend. No, he was doing all that shit because he wanted to get back with me. And I ended up catching wind of it. And I was like, this ain't that. No. Like I said, in my life. It was a lot of toxicity going on. It was a lot of mind games being played. It was a lot of gaslighting. It was a lot of love bombing. Like, he always would just kiss me too much. And I'm just like, boy, get the fuck on. Y'all, it was just too much. So I decided to learn how to love myself. Because I kept thinking, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man. So once I dealt with him, I was like, girl, you need to learn how to love yourself. So during that time, you know, I was good on money. So I was taking myself on dates. I was buying myself things. I had went on a self-care trip. I spent about $400 and I got myself a hotel in my city. And I just spent time to myself. I took myself on a date and everything. So ever since then till now, I learned how to love myself. Yeah, so I blocked him on everything because I felt like if I still try to be in contact with you, even as your friend, it would trigger my anxiety. And I have to choose me first. And that's just how it has to be. And I also realized that I can't have you around me because it was one day we was arguing about something as friends, mind you. We was friends and we was arguing about something. And I was on the way to my aunt's birthday party. And her birthday party was like in the boonies. So we riding. Me and my mom riding. She's driving, of course. So we get to the party. And I already said in my mind, I'm going to get lit. So I can ease, you know, my mind about what was going on. I shouldn't have did that. I started drinking. I wasn't drunk, but I was lit enough to be like, don't do that no more. So we're standing up. We're about to surprise my aunt as she comes in the door. My body started feeling so heavy, like I was about to fall. So I was like, oh, shit, time to sit down. God damn it. So I just realized, like, if this man got you to this point where you done got this lit and about to pass out and you're not feeling well, he don't need to be around you. So after that moment, I was like, you gotta go. So ever since then, I have not had contact with him. I don't wish to have contact with him. And it's crazy because my parents keep seeing him around. Like, they'll be like, oh, Quita, we seen Donut here. We seen Donut there. I'm glad it ain't me. So, y'all, that was a story time of my toxic ex. If you like this video, push that thumbs up button and also subscribe. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye. Peace and love.